Welcome back to the No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and Matty P. How we doing, boys?
Big chillin'.
Big cards.
Yeah, we're out here. We're finally back. We took a week off. We had to work out our collective bargaining agreements for this podcast.
Yeah, Manfred didn't want us to record.
Week. So, yeah, we couldn't do it. It was a bad card. Glad we got that all worked out between the fellas, and now here we are. So, back for some more scraps.
Yeah, let's talk about that card we missed.
Yeah, I mean,
The card we missed or last? Oh, the card we missed pod-wise.
Yes.
Got it. I'm still high from missing it.
Exactly.
I mean, there wasn't much on the prelims besides Terrence McKinney getting it done. Finishing that fast. That I like talking about. I like Terrence McKinney. Obviously, people have been hating on him on Twitter a little bit, but I still like the kid. He's dope.
Look that he got game.
He's gonna be a problem, man. He's really good.
Did you see him beefing on Twitter last week with our boy Bane?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wild. MMA Twitter is getting all over his head, and I'm like, man.
I think MMA Twitter, anyone who if you stay long enough, they gonna hate you. Like, Gianna's probably next. Like, they'll turn on Gianna's next.
Yeah, it's very toxic. I think there's a lot of young kids on there. I feel like there's a lot of 12-year-olds to 16 on there where they're just fucking looking up some wild shit. So that's why I've been kind of off it a little bit. It gets too toxic, and all of a sudden I'm just like, this guy who you were liking 10 minutes ago tweeted one thing, and now everyone's dogging him. So I'm sticking with my guy McKinney. That's my boy. So yeah, no, I'm excited he got that done, and I'm excited to see where he's going because lightweight, he can wrestle like a motherfucker, and he's got hands and power and fast.
Yo, I'm gonna throw this out there. Assuming this guy wins his next fight by decision and not by vicious viral KO, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's say Pimblett wins by decision over his next opponent. Yeah. But if he starts as his next guy and won, does that change anything?
They've already been beefing back and forth on Twitter too. So I can see it for sure.
Oh, the lead up to that fight would be electric.
That's a good fight.
Neither one. He's not ranked yet. No.
Neither guy is ranked. No. But is this too far ahead of each other?
No, I think that's right in the mix. I think that is.
It's bang on.
What prediction? I think we're going to see that 2022 this year.
Yeah. I could definitely see that because it does seem
I was tripping for a second.
In a way,
is that this year?
Yeah, who the fuck knows what year it is. But in a way, it's some people might say, oh, it's too quick for Paddy. It would only be his third fight in the UFC. Some people will say, like me, will say he should be getting a title shot. But, I do think it is kind of a perfect, all right, two hype trains that don't have a number yet. Let's see what it's about.
Another matchmaker.
Yeah. And then, coming right off that fight to the next fight that I want to talk about, the prelims, is another fucking lightweight prospect coming out, Ignacio Bahamondes, looking fucking phenomenal. His last couple of fights, his striking is so clean. He was checking leg kicks like a motherfucker.
I feel like we just sleep on this guy every time.
Yeah, every time. I know this was the fight where I didn't. I bet on him inside the distance, and I was like, you know what? I'm done.
You know who I always mix him up with, and I need to stop is Ponzinibbio. I don't know why Bahamondes, Ponzinibbio, I don't know what it is, but I always mix those two up. But I really think that Bahamondes is on the rise.
Him and McKinney. I think McKinney, they're all in that division too, so I could see him being thrown into this mix. But he may be a little ahead of them.
Which is really sick too.
I think you got to watch Bahamondes. I don't think on paper he really jumps off to me. I think you got to watch this cat.
Yeah, no.
I feel like we look at his record every time and we're like, really? The caliber? You lost to John McDessie. Is that your best? And then Now we're seeing him. It's like it's a whole different fighter. He looks electric. I feel like you really got to put eyeballs on him to like appreciate this.
And just on a kind of a whole, I gotta say, like for a division that had a little bit of an era of kind of some prima donnas and no one's gonna fight anyone unless the bag's right and this, that, or the other. This new generation of 155ers are some absolute killers, and they're back on the bullshit where they're just fighting dudes. Like they just want to scrap. Like obviously the last 2 years has been weird with everything going on, but even amongst that, these Islam, Armand, as we'll probably talk about, like
Riddell,
Fazeev, like these dudes just want to scrap, and I feel like it's just going to be. We just talked about 3 guys who aren't even close to getting a number next to their name yet, and they're absolute electric. So
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a top to bottom.
Connor's not sucking all the juice out of that division.
It's the healthiest division in all of sports, and by that I mean it's got the most talent.
Yeah,
like top to bottom, bar none. In almost every promotion, everyone's got at least 5 good lightweights that could bang in any promotion. It's by far the most popular, best weight class. And I don't see it changing because guys walk around at 180, go fight at 55.
right.
And that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Next fight, what do we want to talk about?
I mean,
Arman Sukarian, right? I mean, this guy put away Joel Alvarez, who was supposed to be like, hey, I'm putting Spain MMA on the map. What was he, undefeated? No, he was 19-2, though. Coming in hot. I mean,
I just off the finish of Thiago Moises, who took Islam to 4 rounds. So it's like, I had Alvarez winning this fight just based on how he's a fucking monster for that division. He's like 6'3". I was like, I think he can somehow get it going, but damn, was I wrong. That cut was so nasty, dude.
Disgusting. I mean, it was one of those that, like, even when, we're fans of the sport, I love fucking blood, but, like, that was like, bro, like, stop. Like, there was more blood in that fight than the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like,
I didn't even know you could bleed like that.
And
like,
not pass out.
An arm off. I didn't think like a cut in the face could do that.
Right. Or how do you not like just like pass out at that point? Like, I don't know. Like, shit was wild.
Yeah, that was a bananas fight. I kind of thought that was going to be the end of the night. I was like, there's no way they're going to come out with more fights after this. Like, this is like a funeral procession here.
Can we talk about that absolute robbery in the next fight?
Yes.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, because you had money on it.
Damn right I did.
That was some bullshit, bro.
My girl got robbed.
Outstruck her 2-1. Definitely won the first 2 rounds. Oh my god!
Yeah,
someone has now that your money's already taken. You've taken the money out, so you're good. Now you can admit it and say someone should get fired here, is what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, the only other thing I could say is that the judges have been listening to my bad takes of like the 3rd round should be weighted more. But I don't know if Vegas has implemented that rule. Actually, I know for a fact they have not.
I don't even think she won the 3rd round.
I thought she won the 3rd round pretty convincingly.
Bro, she lost this fight, dude. It's like plain and simple. Like anyone could have seen. Like I don't know.
That's why
we get too technical. It's just like it was a scrap. Who fucking won? Pick somebody. My dad could pick this fucking fight, and he don't know shit.
It's like someone playing basketball and a team just won by 10, and you're like, well, the other team had a good run at the end. We'll give it to them. Like what?
Yeah, why not?
We lost by 10 points.
Yeah, exactly. They outscored us in the 4th quarter, so like they won.
Fair.
The fuck does that mean?
Yeah, that was absolute garbage.
And it's just a different when something like this happens on the main card. Like it's just like like really, like
yeah, and it's
just
sad
like,
too because
it just puts a trash taste in your mouth.
As like fans, and obviously the reason we do this podcast, like we want to grow MMA, we want to get more fans in the game. And then when something like this happens, it's almost immediate where you're just like, fuck. Like all the casuals, all like my boys who only occasionally watch it or whatever, are just gonna hit me up and just be like, "The fuck was that, bro? I lost money on it."
If a
fight shit was rigged.
Yeah.
If a fight ends in a draw, the two competitors must run 30 yards and scoop up a greasy watermelon. First one to like land on it, like get it clean, gets it.
I'm in on that.
Just have like a track outside, like out back in the
no track. Like just like
in
literally
the octagon.
Like just gotta run down like the tunnel. Like just out back. And you don't exactly know where the watermelon is.
What where they slap the shit out of each other?
Oh yeah. That's the thing in the center. They just do that until someone
At
falls.
the end, they just bring out a little booth where you hold on to. Like, all right, flip a coin. Who goes first?
Finally, Diaz gets a belt back.
Wow. Every fight just goes to that.
Yep.
There's one
judge
who's hella controversial that just always says fight ends in a slap.
Yep.
Like slapping contest.
Like this has only happened twice in the history of the UFC, and both times it's been Nate Diaz. I don't know how the hell this keeps happening.
Wow.
I'm here for it.
We need something. Fucking flip a coin, like for fuck's sake.
Right. And then we had in the co-main event a crazy comeback that I did not win money on. I thought I was already cashing my checks, just getting ready for a main event that I could just enjoy and put a little bit on an underdog that wouldn't win, but nope. Out of absolute nowhere, Wellington Thurman snatched up that armbar, was getting dominated for 2 rounds.
Bro, that was brutal. He just like, whoop.
It was tight too.
He was just like zing box zoo. I'm in there. Bing back bing.
That's exactly
put yourself
why,
in the mind of a great Jennings.
You can never get in a bar fight with a jiu-jitsu guy.
He did that shit.
You'll be absolutely beating their ass, and within seconds your elbow's snapped in half.
That's like Charles Oliveira's only chance against Islam, in my opinion. Is some shit like that.
Just snag an arm.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, shit, screw it up.
Speaking of Islam, I mean,
yeah, let's get into that. I mean,
he did what he was supposed to do, right? I mean, I thought it would go a little longer. I thought, we'd see, maybe a second round. I put money on the second round, so lost that.
Not even 3.5 minutes, bro. Islam dusted this guy in not even 3.5 minutes. Bobby Green's record, 29-13. And he dusted this guy in 3.5 minutes. Goddamn. Like, Islam's that guy right now, and it's gonna take a real monster to beat this guy. Now, he has been beat before. He was KO'd coming in a little quick. That was in the UFC. People forget that. So it is possible. But this new age Islam with Khabib in the corner, yikes. This cat's a problem. It's Khabib 2.0.
Yeah. But it's honestly, it's kind of how MMA is. It's an evolved Khabib. He has a better striking game. I mean, Khabib's hands got better as his.
I don't even know if it's striking as much as like just the positioning to get to where they want to go and takedowns.
What you can see with these Dagestanis too is like most wrestlers need, when you're against the cage, you're kind of safe. You can kind of pull them up, get up out of there. It's like the Dagestanis like you against the cage even more. They figured out a way to use that to their advantage, where usually the cage is like an advantage for the person trying not to get taken down, and they figured out some way to make it an advantage to them. Fucking crazy, man. I would hate to be in a division with Islam or anybody like that.
I just think they're a step ahead, and they've started to realize that people are going to, obviously prepare for takedown defense, and they've realized how people are going to stuff takedowns. And I think now they're just getting more simple in their approach of just shoot, touch him. Now I got a hold of him. All right, just grab a leg. Then I got this leg. Okay, now let's work off single leg. Like, they're just very methodical. Like you were saying, it's just I think this is an absolute problem, and I would not want to be in division with Islam.
Yeah, I'm too, just because naturally with any martial art, like it's going to be figured out. But I
don't know
like,
if you
how?
can figure this out.
I mean,
you got to have that level of experience as well. You got
Yeah.
to be crazy versed in this grappling game, and I think there's
Why
something in
isn't
the
anybody trying
sambo.
to take down on Islam?
that's kind of what
Maybe
I've been thinking.
That's how you beat him. You got to shoot on him first. What if he
Put him
sucks
on
off
his
his
back.
back? What if he sucks off his back? He's like, I don't do jujitsu, and he just stuck on his back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he could,
But then when you shoot and he stuffs it and he's on top of you, it's a Reynolds.
I mean, he's
But at
getting
least
on
you
top
died-
of you anyway.
but at least you died
He's
trying.
fucking try.
At least you died trying.
Yeah, I think a guy like Oliveira might be the guy who could maybe,
What
wrestle with
scares me
him.
about Oliveira is he's very Muay Thai stand up straight because he's never tripping
Right.
off a takedown, and it's like,
Yeah, you can't leave those hips out there.
He's gonna go for a guillotine, if anything, in that fight. That's assuming he gets past Gaethje, which, by the way, is out here in Phoenix, Arizona, May 7th.
Ooh. Cinco de Mayo weekend, we might have to be in there. We might have to be in there.
What else we got on this? Where does Bobby Green go from here?
Bobby Green goes wherever the fuck Bobby Green wants.
I understand that, but I feel like he became an overnight sensation on the tweet box for just taking this fight. And now it's like he got put away in 3.5 minutes, all due respect. Thanks for showing up. But where does he go from here? And I know it's Bobby Green. His stock's not going to fall that hard. People still going to love him.
Honestly, you know what the fight I want for Bobby Green? Give me Brad Riddell. Number 14, you give him a ranked fight because as kind of like a thank you for saving the Islam fight. And those two would just stand and bang. Like, that would be a technical masterpiece.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that. I like that.
I always wanted Dan Hooker, but Dan Hooker left the division.
For now.
That'll happen. That's a good fight. That'll happen.
Someday that will happen. Like, both of them will.
That'll main event some shit on like their last ever fights.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate too if he got like one of these, new up and coming guys that we were talking about, like an Arman Sukarian.
Dude, the same thing's gonna happen with that. He needs a striker, bro.
Fair. But I don't know.
Wait, you just took Islam. We'll do you a favor and we'll give you Arman. Like, bro.
Yeah, but maybe he gets a full camp.
We'll just copy. Just take the homework and just change it a little. Like,
fair. Anything else, or let's move into some MMA news?
No, let's move into some news. We got some hot news.
All right, before we get into the news, No Judge Necessary is sponsored by Earth Sugar. This podcast is sponsored by Earth Sugar, a first-of-its-kind superfood confectionery based right out here in Phoenix, Arizona that specializes in raw organic desserts, energetic snacks, and clean label confections. Use the promo code NOJUDGES to get 25% off all Earth Sugar products at loveearthsugar.com, including their variety pack and the Super Bark energy bars and the caramel candy micro cake. The entire gift set is gluten-free, vegan, paleo, and a perfect sweet gift for any family, friend, or high-performing athlete. Get out there, get your Earth Sugar. We've been talking about it. It's pretty much all I've been eating for breakfast lately. Great snack. Like, honestly, it's pretty much replaced all the snacks I eat now. So,
Earth Sugar's where it's at. Healthy snacks on the go. Feels like you're eating dessert, but it's really something healthy for you. Fills you up for the day. LoveEarthSugar.com. No Judges promo. Let's get some money off. Everybody makes money. Let's go.
No doubt. Something a little less palatable, and I don't know if that's a terrible segue, but we got to talk about it.
Let's get that.
Former heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez is finding himself in a interesting scenario. I do have an article here. Let me pull that up so we can kind of go
Cain
through it.
Velasquez charged with attempted murder. More after police say he targeted accused molester.
Yeah, so
I'm interested.
This broke out a day ago, and at first it was just Cain Velasquez charged with attempted murder in San Jose. That's all it dropped. Everyone was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" But there's some more details here. We can get into it. So he's facing 6 charges following his arrest for an alleged shooting on Monday in San Jose, California. Basically, he was shooting at a motor vehicle, assault with a firearm, assault with a deadly weapon, 3 counts, willfully discharging a firearm from a vehicle, and carrying a loaded firearm with intent to commit a felony. He faced a minimum of 20 years in prison if found guilty of attempted murder. So here's where it gets interesting. Velasquez was arrested Monday after allegedly shooting a man while targeting another man who was accused of molesting a family member possibly 100 times.
Yikes.
I'm going to go through that again. So
This
Cain
story
Velasquez was arrested after allegedly shooting somebody while targeting somebody else who was accused of molesting a family member possibly 1,000 times. That's where this situation gets really weird.
Multiplied it by 10.
Yeah, it was 100.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's still bad. It's
still bad.
Still bad. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I mean, still bad.
It doesn't matter at that point. And you know what the thing that sucks is that he's in California. Because if he was in Arizona, they'd be like, "Yep, good. You should have shot. You missed the guy though." Like,
see, that's the only thing that gets
someone says
weird with me.
Someone says he emptied an entire clip. I saw on Twitter, and he only hit the guy once.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Russell Westbrook shooting that.
That's kind of where it gets weird because if truly the guy was, if he shot the molester, I think I'd be a lot more on where MMA Twitter's at, where it's all free Cain, let's get this guy out. Like, he shouldn't be held without bail and everything.
I mean, he was aiming at him.
True, but he shot somebody else.
But the guy was like aiding him. It was like his stepdad or some shit or something.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
wow.
It wasn't just like some random pedestrian.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, that changes things again.
Let's go. We're not
police report submitted by Detective Joe
good investigators
confirmed that Harry Guarte, 43, was recently charged with molesting a close relative of Velasquez and released from jail. Velasquez had employed Patricia Guarte, Henry's mother, as a daycare worker for the past 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I mean, the obvious thing people are going to say is, you're fucking Cain Velasquez. Why don't you just beat him to a pulp, right? But you don't know these other guys. They could have been strapped up too,
Right. And so revealed he rammed his Ford F-250 into the side of the Silverado in front of the witnesses. He then followed the Silverado and fired 2 shots, one of which struck Paul Bender. So it was the guy that was at least with the molester, like in the same car.
Yeah, it wasn't just like
innocent bystander on the trip. Okay, that's kind of what I thought at first, which definitely changed it. Jesus Christ.
This is a tragedy, bro.
Yeah, this is an absolute tragedy. I mean,
on so many fronts. This is just a bad.
Because you got to understand,
right? Yeah, I mean, somebody molested.
He's doing time, so it's just trying to manage how much is he gonna do.
Right.
Real talk. To what extent? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough, and I can get it. The wires fucking cross, and again, and honestly, it's kind of tough how people were also
fighters are sick fucks,
right? And people were like, "Oh, why wouldn't you just beat his ass?" As fucked up as it sounds, and I'm not saying
too
that
normal
it's right.
to him.
I would rather get shot in the arm than my ass beat by Cain Velasquez
And I think from the legal standpoint, as far as him being a UFC fighter, like he's probably getting the same charges, right?
No, because it's like a deadly weapon. I mean, so are his hands.
So are his hands. I guess he probably wouldn't have gotten all of the charges with like the.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting charged for the handgun by
right. All of the, but he probably still gets an attempted murder charge.
Probably.
He definitely gets assault.
Yeah, he doesn't get all the shooting, but assault with a firearm, assault with. He probably still gets assault with deadly weapon.
Yeah, but those could be then. That could be worked around with a great lawyer.
Right.
Like, there's no room for error on this shit now.
Jeez, man, this.
Whew. We'll go see him on the first 48. It looks like
that's tough, man. And I mean, not that this matters in this situation, but like he was always a guy I rooted for. Like ASU guy, trained out here in Arizona a lot. Like,
yeah, no, I and I'm with the free Cain movement at this time. I mean,
yeah.
That's just some like everyone talks about that. Like, oh, if my daughter was raped, I'll kill her. Like, everyone.
And I think,
and he just was a man of his word.
I can be a little more understanding now that, like, I understand that, like, he was shooting at the molester and the molester's friend, dad, whoever, acquaintance. So, yeah, and like. That is just terrible. Honestly, like I don't know how to segue out of it. Anything else? Prayers up to the family of Cain Velasquez. Obviously, like they've gone through a lot. Whoever, whatever happened before this, and then obviously everything they're gonna go through now. It sucks because like you said, everyone always wants that kind of justice, but is it justice? Do you feel warranted? His life's over. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a tough one.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'll try to transition this out a little bit.
Anything else? Yeah, MMA news.
What we got? News that popped up in the last hour or so. Everyone assumed after that fight, Islam's going to get the belt next, or the title fight next. Then RDA. Kazib fell out, and then they were trying to get Islam, and then Dana White was quoted saying, hold on, let me find it here. He said, I love the Dariush fight for Islam. Since he turned down this fight, meaning the RDA fight, short notice, we're going to remake the Dariush fight. I'm dying to see it, and if he gets through Dariush, then it gets very interesting. So
I really like the first half of that statement, not the second half. I like the first half of the statement. That is, I really like the Benny Dariush fight, and I do think he should still have to fight him before we're talking any title shots. But you have to fight this guy because you said no to a fight on a week's notice? Come on, Dana. Come on, man. Like, I know your fighters are so well paid, and health is the number one concern. So,
well, I think it's more of a just like, hey, your fight got canceled. We scrambled all together to get you somebody. We did. We sacrificed Bobby Green, who's coming up right now and gaining a lot of fans. Do us the favor right now of someone you were already supposed to fight. You're unscathed.
Right.
I don't even think he didn't break a nail on that fight.
That's fair, but
they're like, hey, stay back and take this fight. And, he didn't. And I think Dana White's one of those guys where since he has so much control, you do him a couple favors. This is what Bisping's always said on his podcast. Like, he's like, I've stepped in short notice and fought guys I didn't want to fight and did this. But whenever Dana always made it back up to me whenever I did something like that. So I think he's a favor for a favor type of guy. I don't like it either, though. I still want to see the Dariush fight. Like, I don't think beating he has a 10-fight win streak. None of them are in the top 5. I don't even know how many are even in the top 10, to be honest.
And honestly,
Nah, he needs one
if
more.
I'm-
And Darius is the perfect
and if
opponent.
I'm Islam, like, yeah, obviously you want to get the belt and you want to start that legacy and everything, but like, I
This
think I'd
adds
want
to
to
your
build up
legacy.
that resume, you know, like, and make it a super, like, a mega fight when you do.
If
fight
you're
for the
Islam,
belt.
why do you care? You're gonna smash this guy anyways.
If you're really Islam, if you're
Yeah,
the Slasher,
so why
if
do
you're
you
gonna be a
care?
champ,
That's
Why
my
didn't you
point.
take RDA?
Because he didn't agree to the right weight. He said 165. Islam said 170. Islam called for the weight first. This is his move. You didn't match. Fuck you.
yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, but
I know it's short notice fights, but I don't love all these. Like, I feel like, and granted, you know, COVID injuries, everything, but I feel like we've been seeing a lot of catchweight fights, and it's a whole nother thing that we don't have to
It's
get
Twitter
into
as
right
well,
now on
because people can just
the
be like
current
180
weight cutting.
question mark.
Right. But if we had a better system that actually kept fighters at their more natural weight, and
Let's
kept
talk
them
about it.
ready.
Let's talk about it because I got a guy for you, bro.
All
Let's
right.
talk about it. I got a one championship guy. Now that you were talking
All right,
about
fine.
the proper
Let's do
weight cutting, we're gonna shout out a Ukrainian world champion right here. This guy might not be a newcomer, but sort of. Roman Krykula. They call him the Spider-Man. This guy's 6'7" heavyweight, 225 pounds, unit, kickboxer.
That's a
10
light 6'7" guy.
Yeah,
that's nimble.
225. Yeah, he's a problem. He's known for his body shots, and he's on a 9-fight win streak. He's let's pull up the all-time record. The all-time record's better than like what the Tapology says. All-time record, he is 48-5.
Ooh, okay.
But the Tapology record or whatever I was pulling up said he's 10-1. He's on a 9-fight
That's
win
probably
streak.
all in one championship. Their Tapology's kickboxing is not.
I mean,
very
makes sense.
good
It's
outside
not.
of,
Yeah,
one championship.
that's fine. And yeah, he just KO'd a guy from Turkey via body shots like a week ago.
Damn.
In the first round too. And you could hear it. It was one of those like doof, doof, body. And it was like, oh no. And it was delayed. And the guy went down and just like rolled over. And it was
those
like,
might
oh,
be
this
some of
guy's
the most vicious
problem,
shots
bro.
in MMA. Like when they
Yeah,
truly
those-
hit that like liver shot, and then like you can see it. It takes like a second for the body to realize, like, oh, shut down the whole system. Like we're out of here. Like no
Let me pull up the highlight for
emergency
you.
shut off.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're like beautiful to watch, but they're horrible too. Because like you see a bad shot to the face, you're like, ooh, that sucks. You see one to the body, for some reason we can feel it a little bit. We're like, ooh, I kind of understand, but I really don't.
Oh no doubt.
Well, I think this one was to the temple, but bang.
Yeah, that was right on the chin. That dude went stiff.
Yep.
But what's that name again?
Roman Krykula.
All right,
The
shout him
Spider-Man.
out. Spider-Man.
Yep,
Ukrainian
fighting out of Ukraine.
champion.
World champ out of Ukraine. Shout out. That's
Yeah.
my guy.
Anything else for MMA news, or we better get into it?
MMA news, we got shit. Yuri Prohaska Glover Teixeira was announced that it's going to be in
Ooh.
Singapore.
What?
Singapore, bro. Yes, live from the Singapore indoor stadium. I think people are starting to cut back restrictions on the old Uncle COVID globally, and I think it's going to pay out for the UFC. I loved when they used to have this because this could mean some like Sunday morning randomly. This could be Saturday morning at 5 a.m. I don't know. I like the fucking randomness of like, it's not just the Apex all the time. It's not just Florida. It's not just give me some shits. And this is where wild shit happens.
I mean, we've
made
seen
people travel and have to deal with the fucking jet lag and all that.
And we've seen it with one fighting, so that stadium's going to be fucking wild because they're not going there unless they can sell it out.
No, it's not till like mid or late June, so there's still a bit of time.
That's not going to be International Fight Week, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I think they've moved International Fight Week, so I don't know anymore.
Right.
And not location-wise, I mean date-wise.
Interesting.
So I don't know when the International Fight Week is anymore.
Love it.
I got one more possible news. Nothing's been set yet, but you know that fight night, Volkov versus Aspinall, that's going to be in like London or England or somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
England had just created a rule saying they're not going to take any Russian athletes. So there's a couple Russians on that card. I don't know what's going to happen.
Interesting.
So
I wonder how that works. I mean, honestly, and I don't want to get like too political on this, but as far as I'm concerned with the athletes in Russia, I think they should be removed from all national events, like the World Juniors, the Olympics, anything, World Cup, anything that they're donning a Russian jersey, or they're donning the Russian flag on them. I'm fine with that. But as far as I'm concerned, all these athletes who are fighting or playing amongst these leagues, like especially the ones that are mostly in America, like they really don't have control over their situation, and I don't think that them or their livelihood should be punished for that. Like I don't think people should be coming after Ovechkin. I don't think people should really be coming after these like Russian fighters. Now, if they come out and have political takes or something, I mean, then
I think it's just
the court of public opinion can do that, but I don't think that their actual league should have control over that.
No, I don't either. I think it's what they're doing is they know that these athletes have such big fan bases and they're big figures. So if these big guys in their country can't go perform, then that may show the population like, yo, what's going on? Maybe we shouldn't be with this. Like, I can't even watch my guy. I don't know.
Right. And and there is a complete other flip side of the coin where it's like, oh, one Petr Yan fight, there's bigger things than fighting right now. You're bigger thing than UFC right now, So if that's what it's gonna take, there are bigger things than the UFC is what I'll leave it at.
Yeah.
But
news that I have, I don't have anything else unless you do, Neil.
Darren Till and Kamzat Chimaev training together. YouTube videos coming out. The Smash Bros. Fat Boy and the Wolf. Love it. It's good content. That's all I got.
Yeah, Darren Till's electric on those. Let's hop into our next sponsor. No Judge Necessary is presented by Acosta Clothing, the hottest streetwear and high fashion brand coming out of the Bay Area, California. They specialize in a range of quality backpacks and accessories. Acosta has been worn by some of the top MMA fighters such as Dom Cruz, me and Hakeem Dawodu, and our boy, Ray Waters. You can find them at acostaclothing.com or on Instagram at Acosta Clothing. I know that your dogs are massive Acosta fans, and they just go nuts over it.
Hey, shut up.
But yeah, grab them bags, grab that clothing. Some hot shit coming for the summer, so let's get into it.
Get in your bag, Acosta Clothing.
All right, man. Let's get into
Let's fucking do this. We got some pre-fight diaries.
UFC 272, big card, bad blood. Let's kick it off. What do we got, Neil?
First fight, we got Dustin Jacoby, 16-5, taking on Michał Oleksiejczuk, 16-4, out of Poland in the light heavyweight division. This fight actually intrigues me because this guy Michał gives me big Michał from Dodgeball vibes, and I just think he's gonna Purple Gym, Globo, Cobra, whatever, fucking on him, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Bro, you know what's weird?
I got Michał all day long.
I kind of do too, and it's a gut feeling. I forgot who Michał fought last, and I was like, yo, this guy's like a mini Jan Blachowicz over here. It was a Russian dude, that Shamil Gamzatov dude. And
yep.
And I'm thinking about it. Dustin Jacoby gets hit. He's a good fighter, great kickboxer, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dustin won. But I just can see, I don't know why, I could see Michał just shutting the lights out for some reason.
all I can say is that I'm glad that the UFC is back on their bullshit and giving us like just an exciting fight to kick it off. Like two dudes who are just gonna zero defense and just throw hands. Like that's what I'm excited for. I'm actually a little surprised. Dustin Jacoby's a minus 195 favorite.
I'm not. I'm
Plus
really
105
not.
for
I'm
Michelle.
not either. I knew he would be the favorite.
It's yeah.
I
His
did too. I
durability-
thought this was going to be very close to a pick'em, honestly. I think
just
my
off
pick.
Dustin's record, he's been doing pretty solid. So it's like
Fair. Yeah, no, he's an established fighter. Like, there's no doubt about that. I think my pick in this is under 2.5 rounds, minus 125. I think this is going to come out. It's going to be quick.
Nah,
I think it ends in the second round.
I don't. Yeah. Decision. Michelle.
Ew. Well, Michelle by decision is plus 400.
That's what's happening.
Still trying to get that juice.
Michelle by decision, bro.
Michelle's money line is plus 150.
no, inside the distance. 'Cause that's what I'm thinking.
By knockout is also plus 400.
That might be a good one to set off the day, man. And that's going to tell me how I'm going to do. Because I don't know about a lot of these fights, to be honest. There's a lot of...
I honestly hate you two because you both just gave me a plus 400 take on the same fighter, but a different outcome.
And one of us is gonna hit.
One of you will be right. So honestly, you should pay me to bet on the other one because then
I'm just going to take the money line, to be honest, and just play it safe then.
Fair. You're still getting plus 150 there. I don't hate it. Next fight, what do we got?
Next fight, we got Ludovic Klein, 17-4 out of Serbia, taking on Devontae Smith, 11-3 out of the USA. This is in the lightweight division. It's a very interesting fight. Devontae Smith, exciting. We know it comes to bang. And on the other side, Klein is an absolute killer who, if he can probably get his gas tank together and become more than just a 1-2 head kick, we've seen that alone can get him to this spot. So this fight intrigues the fuck out of me. Who wins and how is up in the air for sure. What do you guys think?
I think I got to go Devonta Smith because I'll be honest, I was pretty high on Klein, as he was coming up. And like you said, he had that, some electric head kick knockouts and like he can strike. But a decision loss to Mike Trizano and then getting choked out by Beans like Nate Landwehr, I'm just out. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out.
You know what?
I
think this fight is a fucking coin flip in my head. But going off of my strategy of wins, losses, what I can see, I could see 12-3 and 17-5. It just looks perfect to me. So I'm going Devontae Smith as well, based on that solely.
He's coming in at minus 177 favorite. Ludovic Klein a plus 140. That's not a bad one.
Really? He's really minus 170? I wouldn't have thought that.
I
thought it'd be close. I thought it'd be close, but really? The fuck is like Devonta Smith done? At least Klein's got the
He
knockout,
didn't get choked out by Beans.
but at least he's got some highlight to give me something. I don't know. And I'm not even trying to throw shade at Devonta Smith. It's just
What do you mean? Devonta Smith won a Heisman.
yeah, for real. As I was saying Devonta Smith, I was just like, yeah, that didn't sound right. All right, next fight, dude. I hate y'all.
Next one. Let's go.
Next fight, we got Tim Elliott, 17-12, taking on Tajir Ulanbekov, 13-1 out of that place called Russia in the flyweight division. What are we thinking?
I mean, Tim Elliott been around the block twice. So, and I think it's wrong to bet against, to bet on Russians right now. So it's not going to be a lot of money, but you know where my money's going.
I mean, Tajir over here got a split decision against Alan Nascimento. And the UFC really said, you know what'll do it next fight? Some Tim Elliott. Is that really where we're fucking at?
Yeah,
in the world.
that's
Is
pretty
this
much
what
what
we're
it is.
doing?
It's like,
No.
hey, we have this guy who's 13-1, but like is not that good. Who I don't know who should fight him. And whenever you say I don't know who should fight him, Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott just like appears out the
I guess
closet.
that's
He's like,
it.
all right, I got this. Like, let's do it.
I don't know. This seems like a massive jump in competition, bro. That's all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. It seems like this is a trap fight, and I'm gonna stay the fuck away from it.
I don't know. I feel like you see random guy with like Russian name 13-1, you're instantly like, ooh,
Right.
ooh.
And so
And then
was
you
Vegas at minus 250 favorite.
Oh, fuck
Give
no.
me Tim Elliott plus 195. I'm not parlaying it. Yeah, let's be honest. I probably
No,
will.
you parlay.
Yeah, if we're gonna
But
parlay.
I'm gonna try to not parlay it.
Fuck out of this fight.
No, see what I'm doing is I'm
You're gonna
trying to
parlay
talk to
the dog shit out
myself,
of this
and I'm
fight.
hoping that like somehow I actually watch this podcast on Saturday morning and listen to myself because I never do. I never do. What are y'all thinking?
I'm probably gonna just maybe inside the distance, just anybody. Like the fight doesn't go the distance on this one.
Not to go the distance is actually plus 108.
I like that because I feel like if Tim Elliott loses, he's gonna get submitted because I feel like that's how he loses. But if he wins, he's gonna knock dude out or like ground and pound him to TKO land.
Tim Elliott's submission is plus 650.
Tim Elliott gets submitted, I feel like, every other fight. Am I tripping? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, 17-12 would say you're not.
No, Tim Elliott submits people too. That's what it is.
He got guillotined by Figgy and Brandon Royval. That's not quite Tajir.
And he just lost to
and Ben Nicolau. Yeah, he lost to Mateus Nicolau. I mean, I'm not crazy confident in Tim Elliott. I never have been, never will be. But why not? I'll sprinkle a little bit.
All right, well, next fight that I'm super confident in, we got Umar Nurmagomedov, 13-0, taking out Brian Kelleher, Boom Boom Kelleher, 24-12 in the bantamweight division. What are your opening bell thoughts?
I was going to say, since you said you're super confident,
I think
I don't think
where
we have
you're
the same take.
What?
I don't think we have the same take.
You think Kelleher's winning this fight?
I do.
You're fucking cooked. You're so out of your mind cooked. You're cooked, bro.
I am
You're literally cooked.
But
you're grilled. You're fucking fried right
Umar
now.
has the name, has a 13-year record, has not fought a single fucking guy I've ever heard of except for Sergey, who's dog shit. Brian Kelleher, Sergey's okay. But, like, he's had one real fight in the UFC. Like, what are we doing here? Boom Boom Kelleher is still fucking, he's still a guy.
Bro, he's about to get
fought
smashed.
everyone.
Bro, you know what?
Smashed.
I'm being honest with you. I could see Brian Kelleher randomly just knocking the dog shit out of him for no reason. For no reason.
I'm telling you, I don't know why. I am like fairly confident in Kelleher. I just
I wouldn't say I'm confident. I could just say I'm going to sprinkle money on this solo that Brian Kelleher knocks him out.
Plus 445 money line. I think I don't know why. I'm all in on this. Like,
you're all in?
Not all in. I do not have the bankroll in which to be all in on fucking Brian Kelleher as a plus 445. But like, this just smells like.
Wait, how big of a favorite is Umar?
Minus 670.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh no.
If you want Kelleher by knockout, plus 1,400.
Bro, I'm taking that all day. I'm putting like $10.
You might have me now. I might be throwing this.
Think about it. Islam got knocked out one time. You don't think little Umar can't get knocked out one time?
And I genuinely don't think Umar is nearly as good as
Did he get knocked out when he was 13-0?
Huh?
Did Islam get knocked out when he was 13-0?
He could
That's a good
stretch
question.
it.
Let me check that.
He was 8-0, 11-0. Got knocked out at a 12-0.
Nah, he didn't miss it. He's at unlucky 13 still. You got to get past 13 to get.
I'm saying,
It's like a leap year.
right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I think Kelleher got a real chance in this. And honestly, let's be real. And I hope
Kelleher got a chance in this.
And something why I always will root for Kelleher is that he's just a part of the Mahan family. And shout out Zach Mahan and shout out B Mahan.
Wow, that's real. No, that's so real.
He's
Wait,
definitely
what
part
did
of
you
the
say?
Mahan.
And so is the plug. So is
Why do
the
you
plug.
like him?
It's a friend back home that looks very much like Kelleher. And his dad and uncles all look like Kelleher. And like Kelleher definitely just shows up to the barbecue. So like, you know, I gotta root for that. But let's take it into the next fight here. We got a very important fight. Some of the other guys that we didn't want to root for. A fighter we do want to root for. We got Marina Moroz, 10-3 out of Ukraine, taking on Maria Agapova out of. Sorry, don't have that. Out of Kazakhstan. So 2 Eastern European fighters coming up on the scene. What do we got on this? I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of just leading with the Ukrainian.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, female flyweight may be one of my favorite divisions because I feel like they just go for broke.
Right.
It's just chaos. It's literally, I wouldn't say it's like watching car crash. It's like watching a golf cart just like hit another golf cart like 7 times in a row.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just chaos. I just love these fights.
It's almost like bumper cars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Just
and I mean that with like the most respect possible because like it's entertaining as shit, but it's not.
If anyone ever disrespects bumper cars, we got a problem.
True.
But
I could see
completely agree.
Marina winning. Wait, are they both named Marina?
Marina and Maria.
Okay.
I could see Marina, the Ukrainian. I could see her winning a decision and then having a nice speech about Ukraine and everything going on, and then everyone's gonna be like,
kind of what I was thinking. Like, just for the moment, like she's a plus 160 underdog. And I mean, hey, Ukraine's been fighting as an underdog all week, and I'm gonna take them.
Yeah, we're riding Ukraine. There's nothing more.
Usually, I don't favor the Cinderella stories because in the UFC they never happen right. But this one just feels like it will.
It's a little different.
Breaking my own rule. I'm breaking my own rule.
Little different. Next one here.
All right,
Neil, you got this.
Next fight, we got Nick Negumaranu, 11-1, taking on Kennedy and Chescu, 9-2 out of Nigeria in the 205 division. I'm not betting on this guy, Nick. I'll tell you that. I don't want to butcher his name. I'm just not. I don't want to have to say this guy's name. I feel like I'm cursing every time I say this guy's name, and I'm just not going to bet on him. That's it.
It's tough
when
Kennedy and Chescu has the easier name.
Yeah.
But I do like Kennedy. I think he's an interesting fighter, and this is a fight that I really want to see. I want to see development in his game. Like,
you know, he pisses me off for some reason, and I think it's because he just does barely enough. So I'm going with Nick, and I mean,
Kennedy does kind of always leave you wanting a little bit more, but like you said, it's almost just enough. So that's why he's a slight favorite.
Every time he shows up to fight, it's like he just woke up from like a fat nap. And he's just like, oh, I got to fight right now. Hold on.
All right, let me get into it. And then halfway through the second round, he starts picking it up, and you're like, all right, dude.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
but
he does have big Nat vibes.
Big Nat vibes.
Ah, shit. I don't know. You got my brain twisted on this one, though.
I sneakily.
What are the odds?
Nikolai is a plus 115. Kennedy is a minus 143.
Yeah, I'll take the 143.
Yeah, slight
Probably
favorite
good.
right there.
And he's got a nickname of the African Savage.
Good nickname.
I'll take that. Next fight.
He should have been Nap Man. It would have been great. He does have big Nap vibes.
No doubt. Next fight.
We got Marina Rodriguez, 15-1-2 out of Brazil, taking on Yao Xiaonan, 13-2 out of China in the female 115 division. What do we got? Opening belt thoughts.
This is an
Can I go
obvious one.
off?
And this one's scary. Yeah, let me just throw my piece and then you go off. This one seems like an obvious Marina Rodriguez win, right? And I could be way the fuck off.
Honestly, what I wanted to go off on, this is a fucking bloody disrespect to this fight. The fact that this fight is not on the main card is absolute insanity. These two women are in the top 5 non-champions that I want to see fight on any given card. Any given card. These women, both of these women should be near co-main event status. And this is not, it's a good card, but it's not the strongest card in the fucking world where we got 3 titles at the top or something like that. Like, this is absolute, I don't mean to disrespect the next fight, but this is malarkey.
I actually completely agree with you on this take because, you know, I saw Marina Rodriguez and I was like, yo, scrap, she's great. I saw Jan and I was like, ooh, great record. Looked at her and instantly saw that it was 9 and was like, they're not promoting her right. You know, with names like this, and it's hard to pronounce. Let's promote her by her nickname of 9. If they said this was Marina Rodriguez versus 9, I would know exactly what they're talking about. I'd be like, all right, this is the Savage that went on a run here and just lost to Esparza and is like damn near in the mix. Definitely. So it would change my whole perspective. They need to promote this fight a little better. But that's the trouble with the UFC.
All right. Understood. Now, who do you guys got win?
I do think it is warranted. Marina Rodriguez being a minus 265 favorite.
Okay.
I think
I was right.
I think it does make sense, yeah. I think she has to be the obvious favorite here. But, I mean, 9 can absolutely go toe-to-toe with anyone. Like, yes, she lost the decision to Esparza. I think she just, you know, she just got in a tough position.
Rodriguez lost the decision to Esparza, too.
Right. And honestly, like, that was more of a complete victory for Esparza. Oh, I mean, Esparza's nasty. Like, there's no two ways about it. But I think this is a much more interesting stylistic matchup for both of them where they're going to more just stand in the middle of the cage and have a all-out Muay Thai kickboxing match. Like,
and that's why I think 9's going to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, really? Good. I'll keep this shit off my
last fight she was so on the takedown and all this and that and having to defend that work. I think she's going to let her striking show.
I mean, she's been a perfect fight on the feet.
This is the perfect fight for it. Yeah, she has a unanimous win over Angela Hill. I mean, that says
Carolina?
enough to me right there. Yeah, I think she's going to win this fight. I really do.
Yeah, and I honestly thought the odds would be closer.
Marina.
You're getting plus 210 on 9. Like,
I think they're both tough girls. I think this fight's for show going decision based on that. Usually I bet decision for girls because I don't see them putting each other away because it's like power, but they both got power and can put people away. They're just both tough as fuck.
Yeah, so I can't see either one really finishing it. To go the distance is minus 240, so you've been chalky McChalk on this, but hey.
Well, I'd rather take that than just the minus 240 on Rodriguez, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd rather take minus 240 on a decision than 265 on Rodriguez because I'm kind of with Neil. I do think Rodriguez because I think she's just going to be that half step faster.
That win over Dern possibly changed my mind.
And I
Because
think
that shows
she's
a
gonna
mix
have.
of everything.
She
That
brings a
shows
little more in the
maturity.
combos that she will outstrike her, especially on the volume. But I thought this was gonna be a much closer fight. And
I did too. I thought it'd be borderline, not pick him, but I thought it'd be Rodriguez like a minus 150, maybe
Right.
minus 170.
no doubt.
Minus 260 is disrespect in its own, let alone the placement of the card.
Right. And where at the minimum I thought this fight should be, let's get into the prelim main event.
Whew.
Let's do it. We got Jalen Turner, 11-5, taking on Jamie Malarkey, 14-4, out of Australia in the lightweight division. Fellas, we got opening belt thoughts. What are we thinking?
No fucking clue who wins this fight. I don't know why. This is the one that I'm just like, when you get a math question, you just look at it, you're like, nope. Nope.
Yeah, to be real, I was high on Jamie Malarkey coming out. I was like, he's the next Aussie guy.
I'm high on both of them.
Then yeah, they're.
You know what I
both
feel like
nasty,
happens in this fight? I feel like Jalen Turner's gonna like get him in like a triangle or some shit in like the first round, and like Malarkey's somehow gonna survive, and it's gonna be like, yo, 10-8 Turner, like bro, 10 more seconds, he wins, and like Malarkey's all fucked up, and then Malarkey comes out and just wins the next 2 rounds, and we're like, who the fuck won this fight?
This is
And
where I think
might
the fight's
be a
not
draw.
going the distance. I think it's not going the distance. Both these guys are finished. They either finish or get finished, I feel like. And I feel like they're going to go at it tough.
I feel like this fight's gonna end in a draw.
You
Like,
think it
has-
does? Yeah, that's.
Jalen Turner's been in one decision in his whole UFC. And let me check his whole UFC career. Let me check Malarkey.
Malarkey's been in
He's had 2 knockouts in a row.
2 decision losses,
Bro,
but all his wins are finishes.
this fight is gonna end in a draw.
I'm kind of down with that, honestly, just
Like,
because
10-8
it's so close.
10-8 Jalen Turner first round.
Plus
10-9 Malarkey in
6,600
2 or 3.
on a draw.
Yo, I'm about to
I'll throw something on it.
I'm about to throw
Yeah,
money
I was
on
gonna
that.
say
For
10
the
bucks
pod,
to
let's
win
all throw 10 on that,
660,
bro.
like shit.
Like, really.
And then all of a sudden, Malarkey's going to just knock him out in the first round and be like, fuck.
Oh yeah, 20-second fight. Next fight, I hope it's a 20-second knockout. Let's get it.
Next fight, we got Sergey Spivak, 13-3, taking on Greg Hardy, 7-4. This is in the heavyweight division, fellas. What do we got?
I mean,
You're not going to like my take.
I know I'm not going to, so
You
let me
got
get
Greg
it out
Hardy?
before. This couldn't be easier for me.
Spivak he can take people down. He's a wrestler, but Greg Hardy is a big ass dude. Like he's literally like 300 pounds. And
You see him pull up to the fucking the presser today or whatever, and they were like, they were like, how much you weigh right now? And he's like 295, and they're like, how you gonna make 265 by Friday? He's like, I do it every time. He's like, I walk around at 310. He's like, I'm a fucking unit, essentially. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't think Spivak's gonna have too easy of a time taking him down. And then not only that, he's got he's a football player, dude. He's got tree trunks for legs. His striking is definitely better, in my opinion. I just think he's gonna knock Spivak out.
I kind of agree with Matty P on this one.
And
I
this
think
is
he's gonna spark him.
take your feelings away from the bet, Britt.
Never.
This is what you were saying at the beginning of the year, right? How you want to change.
You got to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, his art stinks too. He's an athlete who can't fight.
Bro,
I mean,
tell me that. He could beat anyone that's not in the top 7 of the heavyweight division. Is Sergey Spivak in the top 7? No. So he not Dunzo. Like,
I really think that Sergey is going to
it.
dominate him. Like, I really think he's going to just wrestle him. He's going to get him against the cage. I know he's a big and strong guy,
it only
but like,
takes one.
it's technique. Like, I feel like he's going to be getting back tripped all fucking
look
day.
at Derek
and then
Lewis.
just be
You know
on
how
his
the
back.
technique doesn't work on Derek Lewis and he just stands up?
Yeah. But
I feel like the more weight you go, the less technique matters.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I think everyone's going to be pissed about this fight because I honestly think it's going to be 3 rounds of Spivak just wrestling him and Greg
Well, they're going to
Hardy
be
having.
pissed because Greg Hardy's going to win, and everyone wants him to lose.
I really think it's going to be a Spivak 3-round decision because I think Hardy's going to be a fucking turtle. The second he hits his back, he's going to have no idea how to get off.
We'll see, man. I mean, he went 3 rounds with Carlos Felipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did Spivak.
And he's been KO'd. He got KO'd by Tom Aspinall last fight. He got KO'd by Walt Harris in the first round.
Who I think both have significantly better striking than Greg Hardy.
I think Greg Hardy and Walt Harris would be a great fight, to be honest.
I do too. That would be a good fight.
But yeah, it's not a lock, but bro, I'm pretty leaning on that side of this one.
Even though I am pretty confident in Spivak, I am surprised on the odds. Minus 215 favorite for Spivak, plus 170 for Greg Hardy.
Ooh, that's juicy.
What's Hardy by KO?
Hardy by KO plus 300.
I mean, what?
That almost seems like I'm going to put Spivak in a bunch of my parlays, and then I'm going to hedge bet it with Hardy by knockout.
Yeah.
Don't hate it.
All right, next fight.
Let's do it.
We got Kevin Holland. We got the loudmouth, 21-7 out of the USA, taking on the Cowboy Alex Oliveira, 22-11 out of Brazil. This is in the welterweight division. I just got to say, my opening bell thoughts on this is like, I don't care where these guys are at on the roster. I don't care what the fuck's going down. I don't care pandemic, not pandemic. I'd watch these two fight all the time. They're almost in a division of their own in that sense.
And like the wild man division.
Yeah. In the Mike Perry division.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my head, I love Kevin Holland, so I'm like, yo, Kevin's got this, and I'm sure everyone thinks that, but I'm not sleeping on Oliveira. I think this is gonna be a fucking crazy ass first round, but I think Kevin Holland's gonna be so much longer, and Oliveira's down to stand and bang, so he's not gonna try to do, the way to beat Kevin Holland, you wrestle him, And I don't think Oliveira's got the wrestling chops, so I think
I don't know. Cowboy's slick on the ground.
He's slick in jiu-jitsu, but getting people to the ground, it's like
That's true, but that's kind of where I see. That's where I see Cowboys like path to victory is that weather the storm for the first round, and then as Kevin Holland's legs give a little bit because he threw 127 strikes in the first round. That's when the wrestling can start, that's where he starts, getting a little bit slower.
When does Kevin Holland...
I think he can pin against the cage and work takedowns that way.
When does Kevin Holland beating up these internet trolls finally catch up to him?
No, that he's doing the world a service.
Yeah, but at some point, when does some guy just come in and whoop his ass? And then what?
I mean, Cowboy got a better chance than any of these trolls.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that these trolls are the ones, but somebody gonna talk some shit and come in there and fucking give him the works, and then he just.
I'm not gonna bet this fight because whenever I like somebody too much, but I'm kind of scared. This is one of them. So
and the line's not even really worth it. Kevin Holland's a minus 305 favorite.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
Yeah,
honestly, the juice is on Oliveira that fight.
Right.
I'm not touching it.
Next fight. Very interesting one.
Next fight, we got Edson Barbosa, 22-10 out of Brazil, taking on Bryce Mitchell, 14-0 out of the USA in the featherweight division. This is a fucking hell of a fight. We got all-time fighter in Edson Barbosa, absolutely one of the fastest kickers of all time. And he's going to take on a guy who is maybe one of the best jiu-jitsu artists of all time in Bryce Mitchell. Might be a stretch, but it might not be. And we're about to put that to the test here and see what's going down.
I think Mitchell's bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's such a tough thing. He's been out for 2 years, or just a year and a half, for a hand surgery. And like the first thing back from hand surgery, you gotta fight Edson fucking Barbosa.
Well, and honestly, I watched a bunch of shit with him, and bro, he's on his farm building shit and doing shit on the farm all day. Like, Edson Barbosa's in the gym all day, like training at American Top Team with top level dudes. You're in Arkansas building a chicken coop half your day. At this level,
I ain't gonna disrespect farm strength.
No. I won't disrespect farm strength, but at this level, when you get to these top 10, top 5s, you're not fighting, the dudes on the prelims anymore. You're facing Edson Barbosa, and I don't know. I just think he's a little too fast. Not too fast for him. He deserves a big named opponent after his last fight, so this is a good step, but I don't know, man. Barbosa's not easy to take down either. Khabib took like 4 rounds to get him out of there.
Right. Yeah, I think he's got to almost hit something crazy. Like either we're gonna see some like holy shit, what the fuck was that? But
what's it smell like?
What's it smell like?
This smells like borderline KO of the year candidate for Edson Barbosa.
Bro, I'm kind of
This smells like some like spinning fucking 360 tornado.
He hits him with some shit.
Bryce Mitchell. I can just picture him slumped like on the way to the ground.
Edson Barbosa by KO is plus 280.
Bro,
I kind of feel like it's like leg kick, high kick, wham, like just done. Edson Barbosa just goes on one like streak of like just that classic.
I want to buy the Bryce hype so bad.
I was watching
not bad.
I was watching the embeddeds, and Bryce Mitchell's just at his farm. He has some dude come out, hold pads for him at his farm. I'm like, bro, where are your who are you sparring against? Why don't you just
he tenderizes the beef? He just like punches the side of a cow.
He's like, yeah, man, I've been building this chicken coop. I got my ducks in here. I'm about to build a pool in there. I'm like, and then it shows Edson Barbosa. He's like doing all these drills, jiu-jitsu, all this crap on the ground with that American Top Team. He's like, I do this for my family, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are levels.
Kind of with Matty P. He's into rapping now and shit. Like,
but like,
I don't know.
Can your jiu-jitsu just be that slick? That's what I kind of want to know. But if you
can't get it to the floor, it don't matter.
It's slick against though. Like, all right, Bryce Mitchell's he fought Andre Feely was his best opponent, and he went to a decision with Feely. He beat Charles Rosa in a decision. And then he beat Matt Sales in submission. He beat Bobby Moffitt by decision. And Tyler Diamond. It's like, I don't know, bro. Like, I think he's got a lot of hype because he's like, the good old Arkansas boy, and he's, wants the camo shorts, and everyone loves that. It's funny, and it's a great time. And I'm a fan of Bryce Mitchell. Don't get me wrong. I just think he's fighting Barbosa, bro.
Yeah, and just honestly, it just feels too early in his career to be a minus 159 against Edson Barbosa. Like,
and he's the favorite.
Oh
yeah, I know, but fuck. No, I think I'm with you. I'm with you. Because it's one of those.
Impressively,
no, he lost to Giga Chikadze, but then he just beat Shane Burgos.
Bro, since 2013. Since 2013. Danny Castillo, Donald Cerrone, Evan Dunham, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Paul Felder, Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis, Gilbert Melendez, Beneil Dariush, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Kevin Lee, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, Paul Felder, Dan Ige, Makwan Amirkhani, Shane Burgos, Giga Chikadze.
Never heard of him.
Not one of those guys is on the same fucking level. Bryce Mitchell ain't on the same level as any of those fucking guys. that I just mentioned.
And not only that, I don't
And
think
he's about to fight Edson. Come on, dude.
And the
Stop
only
this
person
nonsense.
and the
The
only
last
person
decade.
two people. The only person submitting him is Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, even Khabib didn't submit him. That went to UD.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on this. This was my.
Bro, I can't believe Bryce Mitchell's a favorite.
This is kind of one of my locks of the night, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, are you just taking Edson money line plus 128, or you want that juice on the knockout?
I mean, I'll take the plus 128, but maybe I'll bet separately on a KO.
Yeah, I could see Edson going into some parlays and then juice a little on that KO. Next fight. Who's fighting RDA?
We got a co-main event, huh?
We got a main event. Maybe.
Let's get it. We got Rafael dos Anjos, 30-13 out of Brazil, taking on a fellow Brazilian on last minute notice. We got Renato Moicano coming through, 16-4 in a catchweight 160 co-main event. I don't even know. At least it's 5 rounds. Maybe that means it's boring because they just sit there. But
breaking news.
Yeah.
Benny Dariush aims for summer return after skipping his surgery on a broken fibula. He declined surgery and is looking to get a summer return. So we should be seeing Benny a lot sooner than expected.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just breaking news there. But yeah, back into this. I mean, I personally think that RDA is going to absolutely wash him.
Do we even care?
No, but I think it might be
okay. Why?
Why do I care? Because this is RDA's really last shot, and he's just to spot killers. I mean, his whole career is fighting killers. So I don't know. I care. I like this fight. I like anytime RDA fights. He's a legend. It's like watching Cowboy fight like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, where you're just like, bro, it's Cowboy. Like who cares?
I mean, obviously, I know the situation with how this fight got made, but I might put this as my lock of the night because I thought this was going to open as a massive RDA favorite. He's coming in only as a minus 167 favorite. In the same way, I just got a fucking lecture on goddamn fucking Bryce Mitchell and how he hasn't fought anyone. Remember how he got absolutely pieced up by Korean Zombie and Rafael Fiziev. And then he wins a fight. Jose Aldo. And he wins a fight against Jair Bear and then fucking Alex Hernandez. And he's even close to RDA.
No, hold on.
He's getting this fight because of the notice. Are you talking about the odds?
I'm talking about the odds.
No, I'm talking about the competition. Moicano has beaten Jeremy Stevens, Calvin Cater, Cub Swanson, and now he just beat what's his name? Alex Hernandez, I guess, and that's not the best one out of those lists for sure, but he's beaten some dogs, man.
He beat dogs in 2016 and 17, but I mean, I'm not saying his record of 16-4 is not saying that he hasn't fought anyone. But again, there's levels to this shit. And RDA is and has been in the top level of fucking striking in this division for almost 2 decades at this point. And anytime he's even sniffed that level of striking, he's gotten fucking pieced up. So I think this is I thought I was going to have to pay minus 300 plus on this. Easy. So minus 167 might be my lock of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking RDA, but at the same time, I think this fight's going to be a little closer than we think. I see RDA by decision, and they're both going to have their hands up, and they're going to be like, whoever loses is going to be pissed off.
That's fine, but I'm taking RDA right to the back.
No, who do you think?
You got anything?
Until it's Brick who fucking loses everything on the last one, and he's like, "Fuck! Why did he put his hands up?" No, I think RDA is probably going to win. I think the chin of Moicano's bit to be questioned at this point. I don't really see how he wins this fight unless he pulls out a submission. So unless that comes out the bag randomly, I don't really see him having to win in this fight. I kind of think RDA has just fought the true clat. Like he spent time at 170, 155, whatever. He's fought them all. I just think it's going to play off. I mean,
has RDA ever been submitted? I'm checking right now. No,
I was like, I don't think so.
I don't think he ever has.
I don't know. This man was a former champ at one point. Like
No.
I don't see Moicano as a champ. Like so.
Oh no, that was a grappling.
Oh, he got submitted by Clay Guido. That was it in 2010.
Hey.
In 2010.
No, that was a jaw injury.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even a real submission.
No.
Yeah, so that was it. He's never really been truly submitted. So, yeah, no, I think you're right. I lean RDA too, but Moicano's wasn't looking too shabby the other night.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not saying that Moicano's trash or anything, but like again, there's levels to this shit.
And you need more time to prepare for somebody like RDA.
No doubt. You want to get into it?
Ah, shit.
Let's fucking
Let's do this. Let's hop in the main event. We got real fucking bad blood. We got two former best friends and roommates turned rivals. They absolutely hate each other. We got Colby Chaos Covington, 16-3, taking on Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, 35-15. Main event, UFC 272. We in the fucking building. How we doing?
Bro, I'm all over the place on this fight.
Facts.
Because
Bro.
in some ways, I think this is one of the biggest fights and I care so much as a fan. And in other ways, if we're in the trust tree, I don't really give a fuck because I kind of hate both these motherfuckers. If we're really being honest.
I like both of them.
Oh, I can't stand either of them.
I like the thing is I like that whole division. I like Usman a lot too, but I love these two because they're just some little villains out here a little bit. And yeah, I've gotten over the Colby shtick, but I think he's hella funny sometimes. And I think Masvidal's a fucking goon. Like I do like him. So it's like what I want to happen is probably what's not gonna happen. And I want Masvidal to knock him out.
Yeah.
And imagine he knocks him out and is just going stupid. The crowd's all like, what the fuck? You know. But it's either that's going to happen or Colby's going to wash him for 5 rounds. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, from like an analytics perspective, I think Colby's miles away from Masvidal. And if you've ever listened to this podcast, I am full team Masvidal. I can't fucking stand Colby Covington. I think he's an asshole. Like the whole shtick. It doesn't get to me in the fact of like, oh, what he says. It's just such bullshit and just he's never
just
said anything. It's just fake. It's just and it just pisses me off where a guy like Usman, who I'm a big favorite with, literally is proving it right next to him that like if you're just a real fighter and you're yourself, like you're way more marketable, you know? And maybe you want to say like, yeah, the marketability, like people get pumped for Covington, but I don't know. I think Colby's going to absolutely masterclass this. Like Masvidal, like I think unless he throws some crazy shit, like I don't see how he's gonna really even get inside on him, unless Colby just like is dumb and sees red like he did in the first Usman like round 4 or 5 where he was just like kind of desperate and just came inside and started swinging. But like,
well, that's where I see like Masvidal is so sharp. I think he's one of the slickest strikers in the UFC. To be honest, I think his striking is fucking top notch. And Colby kind of doesn't throw the most like real sharp shit because he's just like getting close to get a takedown. And I can see in maybe in a certain exchange where he's not all the way, protected where Masvidal can catch him. because I don't think I feel like Masvidal is going to be able to get up. Like Kobe will take him down, but Masvidal will be able to work his way up.
Oh yeah.
So
no, that'll be more of a chain thing. Like I could see Kobe having like 6-8 takedowns because of that.
Yeah, exactly. But Masvidal hits like a motherfucker, man. I think. Do you put any weight on the fact that Mike Brown and that whole team basically raised Kobe in the UFC, and they know maybe some tips and tricks here from him?
That definitely weighs in.
It has to weigh in.
I think I had this take going on in my brain, and I heard Usman say it last night. I think Colby's going to have a tougher time taking down Masvidal than he thinks. And I also think Masvidal is going to have a tougher time striking with Colby than he thinks.
I actually think
and that's why that's going to be a fucking great fight.
Like, I think Colby's going to outclass him on the feet. Like, I honestly do. I know that Masvidal hits like a truck, but I think that style, kind of how he fought Usman.
Round one going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Round one's probably going to be chaos, but I think as the fight goes on, I think Colby's just going to have that volume striking, the leg kicks, just on the outside, where Masvidal's going to be looking for that, Pez dispenser fucking highlight knockout.
Bro, but there's just part of me that
I don't know.
There's just part of me that when all said and done, when there's a bad blood fight, you take the guy that came up on the fucking Kimbo Slice channel and the street fight guy.
That's what
There's something in me. You have to take the fucking dog. You got to take the guy there.
If this was in the parking lot,
yeah,
I think I'd be taking something different.
This is essentially what it is. This is what he's telling
me. There's no dirt.
There
ain't no dirt. There's no Tim.
He's treating it like that, fam.
And I think that might be his problem.
Well, that's why I'm not betting on this.
Kobe treating it like that too. And so I'm taking the guy that's got the experience.
But is Kobe
dogfight?
I mean, Kobe's, as much as I hate him, like most of his shit is shtick. And I don't think he entirely buys into his bullshit. So he does say there's bad blood, but I could definitely see him of the two keeping a little
listen
more
to his shit. He said, "How do you picture this fight ending? Hopefully, I leave that useless piece of trash in a pool of blood."
Oh, I know he hates this guy. I'm just saying he's more of the shit talker that I think will keep his cool slightly more to be a little more technical.
Nah, I think it's the other way around. I'm going with the guy who's not playing a shtick, and he's fucking been in the streets and been doing this for the last 35 fucking years.
I mean, you don't have to really sell me that hard to bet against Kobe.
Like, come on, what are you fucking doing, bro?
I just don't like
bro.
The fucking goon. Like,
do they shake hands at the end?
No, absolutely not. Guaranteed, they're not even in the octagon when the other one gets announced.
You know what? I honestly kind of hope the other way, like just set MMA Twitter on fire, like fucking kiss after it. Like, I hope they go the complete opposite way. They're like, "Ha, gotcha, all. We're just fucking boys. Cash the check." Like,
so whenever I think it's one of two options, like either George's gonna knock him out or Colby's gonna win a landslide decision, one of the other two things happens where it's like George wins the decision or Colby knocks him out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking game bred season, bro. We're going hunting. Fucking right in the mouth, dude. Trust.
Jorge by
this man's lived on this couch for free. This is a different type of fucking hatred, fam. And we got the OG of like street hatred. We got the street Judas about to fucking end this shit, fam.
But what's Colby by knockout?
Kobe by knockout is plus 300.
That's not that crazy.
No, I thought that'd be a little higher. But I think in a 5-round fight, he can, death by 1,000 paper cuts, and then 4th or 5th round, he puts a little something into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to not bet a lot on this fight.
Or honestly, TKO, I could see it ground and pound,
Yeah.
After his 7th, 8th takedown, Jorge's just fucking gas, and then he just starts raining. But
not this is staying away from any parlay.
No, I'm gonna probably lose all my money on RDA right before this, because it's my lock of the night. I'll feel great, be up a bunch of money, lose it all on RDA, and then be like, well, I couldn't pick anyways, so let's watch the main event.
Yeah, we got Bad Blood. It's fucking all on the line. Let's go. Gotta love it. True Hatred. Game Bread. 305, baby.
I'm rocking
Much
with
love.
it.
We out.